This one hurt me more than any loss this year. Probably even worse than a playoff loss, to be honest. I'm going to sit on this, but, I have to find a way to keep these guys alive. There's still football to be had. We can't let these type of games slip away like we did today.
How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down the ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And after the Cincinnati Bengals loss on Monday Night Football, Micah Parsons had a few words after heading directly to the locker room after the game. As y'all saw at the beginning of this video, what Micah Parsons had to say, but the talking heads had something to say about it. On yesterday's episode of First Take, Stephen A. Smith, Molly Curum, Shannon Sharp, and Jeff Saturday discussed the comments from Micah Parsons about this past loss hurting like a playoff loss. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's go ahead and take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say.
The operative word that comes to my mind, fellas, is embarrassment. You're Micah Parsons, who is an absolute stud, who deserves his money. We know what he means. To be talking about a game like this being more important and more riveting than a playoff loss, my God, that's just evidence that you're not very experienced at playoff losses. You should be, because you've been there and you've had your share of playoff losses already. But nevertheless, that's just not something that should come out of a player's mouth. To say that this really hurt me more than any loss this year, that makes sense, because obviously you've been playing better, like he pointed out, and unfortunately you're finding ways to still lose games. But in a sense, when he expands extensively beyond that, and gives the indication that it's more important than the playoff loss. And it just reminds us what you don't know about postseason meanings and postseason success. It clearly is something that you are oblivious to.
Somebody please tell me this, Cowboys Nation. How is what Micah Parsons had to say sad or embarrassing? Stephen A. Smith talked about Micah Parsons not being used to playoff importance and how it's wrong to compare Monday night's loss against the Cincinnati Bengals to a playoff loss. One thing that I don't think Stephen A. Smith did was factor in the importance of this game to the Dallas Cowboys. How important this win was for the team's chances at a playoff appearance this year. Another thing that I don't think Stephen A. Smith is used to is teamwork. Being so close to a victory to have it snatched away from you by one of your own. Not to mention that the Dallas Cowboys playoffs started way back in week 12 against the Washington Commanders. But y'all know the talking heads. Y'all know what they do. They love to misinterpret what these athletes have to say so that they have a story that they can run with. But jumping into the second clip that I got for you, Shannon Sharp agrees with Stephen A. Smith's comments about Micah Parsons. So let's go ahead and take a listen to what Shannon had to say so we can come back and talk about it. Roll the clip.
Yeah, I'm absolutely surprised by what Micah said, because there's nothing more riveting and more hurtful than a playoff loss, for the simple fact is that you think you have a chance to win the Super Bowl. This is a regular season game. There's another game to be played on Sunday. In the playoff Saturday, you know this just like I know it. It's the finality of it that makes it hurt, because there is no tomorrow. You're going in tomorrow, and they're going to give you a big old hefty bag, and you're going to clean your lockout. And you're like, all right, guys, hey, stay in contact. Let me know if you come to Atlanta, or if let's plan a trip, go to Vegas or Cancun or something like that. It's the finality of the playoffs that makes it hurt.
This is my issue, Cowboys Nation, and y'all have heard me say it before. I get tired of these former players getting on national television and having amnesia like they never played in the league before. How is what Micah Parsons said foreign to you, Shannon Sharp? It's like these former players have to go on these networks and pretend that they don't know the importance of a regular season game when your playoff hopes are on the line. He said that the Dallas Cowboys get to play next week and how there's no tomorrow in the playoffs. Well, to some of these teams that are in the hunt, tomorrow may not include the playoffs, so you have to play the remaining schedule as if you are in the playoffs in order to make it to said playoffs. Damn, I ain't never played in the NFL, and I know that, guys. Come on. But jumping into the last clip that I got for you, I'm going to allow the man that they're talking about to clear the confusion around his words and his actions on Monday night. So let's take a listen so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, let's go ahead and take a listen to Micah Parsons.
It's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. You know, plenty of fans, if I was willing if I went over there and was all laughing with the competition after we lost like that, a lot of people would be mad. I walk off the field because the game's over and people are mad. It's just like, you know, you can't make everyone happy, but I would just say in that specific moment, you know, it was deeper than that. You know, we're trying to make a run. We were trying to make playoffs, and kind of to lose that one, we needed that win. And that's why, you know, Stephen A kind of had questions on me comparing it to playoffs. Is Stephen A knows we need that win. We were kind of behind the 8 ball. We needed pretty much to win out and win another division game to make it. And that kind of might have been it. You know, we kind of need a miracle run right now. I'm still not going to give up. I hope my teammates not going to give up. We got to play for Demo at this point. We got to play for everyone who's injured. Zach, Dak. I mean, we got so many guys out right now. And, you know, we got to play for them. You know, it's an honor to represent the Star, but, you know, we needed that one.
All right, Cowboys Nation, let's go ahead and get into the good stuff. Y'all ready for my raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. You can tell from Micah Parsons' attitude that he is a competitive person. Whether it's playing in the NFL or playing Madden 25, Micah Parsons wants to win and win big. He was the one during the interviews telling the press that the Dallas Cowboys had something left in the tank for the season and not to give up faith or hope in the playoffs for the Dallas Cowboys. He's been the one coming to the aid of the other players and trying to become that mentor and that team leader a lot of Cowboys Nation wanted him to step up to become. Pardon him if he's getting overly emotional after a tough-fought game against a great quarterback and a wide receiver duo in Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. See, we can chalk Stephen A. Smith's ignorance up to inexperience in playing football or even inexperience in playing in a playoff scenario. I can't say the same thing for Shannon Sharpe. That man knew how important every remaining game was and is to the Dallas Cowboys' playoff chances. So to say you don't understand what Micah Parsons means by this hurts like a playoff loss makes me feel that this is yet another Shay character he's presenting to ESPN. The only thing that he's missing is his Black and Miles and his Hennessy. Speaking of which, where did that character go, Shannon? Why no Henny and Blacks on the set of First Take, Uncle Shay? Stephen A. Smith plays that dumbass Cousin Steve role when the Cowboys lost, but you can't play Uncle Shay? What's going on with that? But Shannon Sharpe said it's the finality of the playoffs that makes it hurt. What about the finality of a must-win regular season game that doesn't go in your favor, but you needed it to in order to make it to said playoffs? What about playing every remaining game like a playoff game? When the players have that mentality and they get beat, you will see reactions like you saw from Micah Parsons. On top of that, the Dallas Cowboys lost a vital piece to our team in DeMarvion Overshown to another season-ending injury, so emotions were high post-game. And you also see, Cowboys Nation, when you go to a press conference or you have a post-game interview and you answer the questions with standard vanilla PR answers, the 3 and 4 letter networks want to degrade you and talk down about you. Case in point, when Dak Prescott has an interview, Stephen A. Smith complains about Dak being prim and proper and clean with his response. When someone has an emotional response to a question, they degrade him for it as well. What is the proper response to you talking heads, huh? Seeing that there's no proper response other than the response that gives these talking heads something to talk about, something that makes a segment, something that gives them ratings, they don't give a damn how bad this loss hurts the players on the teams. The only thing that they care about is how the soundbite gives them something to talk about and it gives them ratings. But to give y'all my perspective on what Micah Parsons said, as well as his demeanor after this loss, I am 100% okay with how Micah Parsons took this loss. I am perfectly fine with the emotions that Micah displayed on the sidelines. This shows me that Micah's passion to win is extremely high and his want to bring this organization a Super Bowl championship is in the forefront of his mind. There was a time where some people in Cowboys Nation was saying that Micah was only in it for himself and his own success. I'm sorry, but if that was his only concern, he wouldn't have been bent out of shape on the sidelines. He wouldn't have been worried about Mossy Smith's development. He wouldn't be worried about Zach Martin getting rewarded for over a decade of services with a Super Bowl championship. He wouldn't have been so emotional after losing DeMarvion Overshown. Micah Parsons is indeed turning into the leader that the Dallas Cowboys need and deserve in real time. You look at where Micah Parsons has come from last year to this year, you will see the continued metamorphosis from a young man into a leader. The only other time that the Dallas Cowboys fans saw him this emotional was after the Green Bay Packers lost in the playoffs last year. After that game, he didn't even stick around to talk to the press. He did after this one, which shows me a continued growth by such a dominant player who's learning to become a leader. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. What did y'all feel about Micah Parsons' comments and demeanor after the loss to the Cincinnati Bengals? Do y'all understand where he's coming from, or was his reaction childish? Y'all know how he doing it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Give me your raw and uncut in the comment section. But if you're digging the content and want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video and share it with whomever you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and knows how it feels to go through a hard loss but remain 10 toes down, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, or Madden 25 and College Football 25 gameplay. And this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Angry Cowboys fan family, I will be live streaming the Dallas Cowboys versus the Carolina Panthers with my homie, my bro, my brother from another mother from 13 years old, Big John over at the One Carolina YouTube channel. We're going to be streaming it live, so make sure y'all come over to the Angry Cowboys fan YouTube channel and root on our Dallas Cowboys against them Carolina Panthers. But this is the Micah Parsons that I want to see from this point on. This is the Micah Parsons that I want to see in the 2025 season. With a dominant talent as a leader of your team, it will cause the other players on the team to match said leader's intensity. So let's start treating all of our games as a playoff game and continue to give playoff energy, even if it's the regular season. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.